All right, we'll go ahead and get going. Hold on. A reminder that there are no recordings during the press conference. Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices, myself included, and make sure to give your name and affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. We're joined by Texas head coach Mike White and players Tegan Cavan, Alyssa Washington, and Jolie Mitchell. We'll go to an opening statement from Coach White, questions to just the players will leave, and then questions just for Coach White. So if you have an opening statement.
Sure. Yeah. Obviously, that was an old-fashioned ball game right there. 1-0 pitcher's duel. Two tremendous pitchers going at it. Whoever blinked first was going to win that game. I think everybody knew it in the stadium. Fortunately, we were able to create some pressure there in that last inning and able to hang on. But tremendous job by Tegan Cavan, pitching for a second time against that same club. That's a World Series contender. Showing no nerves, so I now call her Ice Cavan. So, congratulations to Stanford, too, on a great year. They battled through some adversity. I think that was their third or fourth time facing elimination. We know what that's like from back in 2022. I think we faced 6 times. And, they had nothing to lose. They were giving it everything they had. And Nyjah Kennedy, wow, what can you say? She's really, really tough. So we're just fortunate to be going on to our second World Series final in 3 years.
Questions for Texas players? Okay.
Tegan, you threw that one.
Wait, hold on. Get the mic real quick. All right, front row
Tegan,
left.
you threw that one hitter Thursday. How did this one feel different, considering it was scoreless going into the 7th?
I honestly was more calm today. I was more in control of my breathing. I felt more in control of the game, and I had no doubt that we'd pull through. But I was just more calm today and was ready to get after it.
All right, we'll go second row right next.
Jacob Richmond, Lone Star Live. Alyssa, could you just walk us through the rundown? What were you thinking and the play that you made?
Yeah, at first my initial reaction was go, but then I saw quick the pitcher had got it, so I kind of froze up a little bit. But instead of just going back, I wanted to kind of bait her and get into that rundown. And just what was going through my head was just whatever it takes to score, because I knew in a ball game like that, it just takes one run to kind of get ahead in that game. So it was just going through my mind was whatever it takes.
All right, we'll go front row left now.
Brady Vernon, Softball America, just for the three of you, you guys haven't allowed a run like this in these 3 games, just been really competitive. And just how much did that super regional and getting tested kind of improve what you're doing right now in Oklahoma City?
Julie, you want to start, then come down the line?
I think that we just really tapped in and focusing on ourselves. The super regional was a really tough weekend, and it took everything that we had. We had to get together and do our job. I think that, we did a great job as a team, putting our heads together, putting all of our effort, and we left it all out there. I think coming into this week, we knew it's going to be the toughest week of the season, so we kind of had to have the same mentality, sticking together, doing our job pitch by pitch.
Yeah, I would agree definitely with Jolie. Definitely sticking together, leaning on one another. It's not going to just be one person. It's going to take all of us to do the job, to win the big games, and in those big moments, just leaning on one another.
When they were doing which side was louder, the first base or third base, I actually thought out there that I think Austin was louder. So I think that just shows how well that prepared us for this moment and how intense it could be out there.
All right, we'll go front row right.
Jana Bardall with The Athletic. Tegan, I wanted to ask you, your coach said it best, I think. It was a pitcher's duel out there, you and Nyjah, just throughout the game. Can you just describe the intensity and how it impacted, I guess your game?
I think I knew going into it that I needed to keep them off the board. That's what needed to happen the last time I threw against them. So just keep my offense in it. Reese told me every time we went out there, just keep us in it, and we'll come through. And so that was just the mindset going out there through each pitch.
Front row left now.
Melissa Kirk Bowles from the Austin American. So it was a safety squeeze play, or it wasn't a suicide squeeze?
No, it was a drag bunt.
And you wanted to try to get in the rundown. You weren't trying to get back to third.
Yeah, no, sir. So like I said in that moment, she did put it down, and it kind of went straight to her, and I recognized that, and I stopped in that moment, and then I realized when the catcher was coming at me that I wanted to bait her a little bit and get in that rundown. Yeah, so.
And how'd you get under the tag?
Wait, are you asking me? Oh, okay. Just recognizing where the catcher was standing and the third baseman, how she had it. She had when she was chasing me down, instead of the ball in her hand, she had it in her glove. So recognizing that that's going to take a little time with that transfer to get it in there. So just sliding my hand in there, recognizing where the catcher stands and the timing of that transfer.
All right, we'll stay front row left.
Jolie, when you go against a pitcher like Nigel, what can you learn like after 6, 7, 8 at bats? Because you made that good contact in the 7th.
I was just focused on keeping the ball down. We talked about that all day, and especially, we emphasized that we did well first game this week. So, I kind of shortened up and just looking for good contact, trying to stay away from pitches that were up, pitches that were in, and just trying to make contact, get it through the hole.
More questions? Okay, we got second right.
Tegan, can you just talk a little bit about the defense, particularly outfield today, and how much confidence it gives you when you've got players making those big plays anytime there's hard contact?
They all made big catches for me today, every single one of them, and Bella had a handful, and Caden had a big one, so I couldn't do it without them. This might be a different ball game if they don't make those catches, so I'm just grateful they're out there for me.
All right, front row left.
Yeah, Tegan, could you describe the loud foul ball to right field and then the clock violation that got you an inning-ending strikeout?
Yeah, I think that's, a momentum shift for us, and I think that's what kind of propelled us. We used that, and we knew that we could use that to push us and get some runs across the board, so obviously it worked out in our favor.
And did you feel a whole lot more pressure? You won 4-0 in the first game, but this one obviously right down the wire. Did the pressure build up in you, or were you totally relaxed the whole game?
Maybe a little, but honestly I felt pretty good. I felt a lot better my second time out here on this stage, so I don't know, I was just calm and was focusing my breath, and I knew that we'd pull through. I knew my defense had my back.
Any more questions for players? All right, thank you, players.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach White? Okay, start right here. Front row left.
Coach, kind of the development of Tegan, she goes against, by all accounts, the best pitcher in the game twice this week, and she comes out on top. How would you describe her development over the course of the season, and where is she at kind of in the hierarchy of college softball pitching right now?
That's a really tough question. Still early in her career. She's still working and getting better and developing other pitches as well. I think right now, though, just her ability to stay very calm in those situations is great. Early on, and especially going even back to regionals and super regionals, her first super regionals, she was nervous. You could visibly see it, but you couldn't see those nerves this week. So I think that Dean Wallum, our sports psychologist, has done a great job with us, and of course the coaching staff as well. Coach Patty Ruth Taylor done a tremendous job with our pitching staff, and just working with them day in and day out as well. And just like they said, they've got confidence in each other right now, and I think that also helps.
All right, we'll go second row right.
Coach, can you talk about what was going through your head during that rundown at the end, and also how you've seen Alyssa grow from 2 years ago when last time you were in the Women's College World Series to now where she is as a leader and as a player?
Yeah, well, obviously she's become a leader for us, but being a captain on the team, I just like the way she's stepping up in some of our team talks and tough moments, things that you don't see on the field that really make a difference. She's kind of a galvanizing person for us. On that safety squeeze, it was her read. We knew the third baseman was in quite a way, so we could get a pretty good jump. She decided to maybe get in that rundown at that point. But we felt like with that part of the order up that we should be able to score if it didn't work out. We get in a rundown and won't lose a whole lot. But as it turned out, Nigel just stepped up the gas and got the next 3 out. So sometimes you just never know when you're facing a good pitcher like that. But we were able to force the issue and create a run with a great slide.
All right, we'll go front row left now.
Yeah, Mike, your team's hit a ton of home runs this year. But did the philosophy change to we just got to make something happen here because you had the stolen base and then, like you said, the squeeze button?
Yes, sir. It is what it is. When you're facing a great pitcher like that, you're not going to score a lot of runs. She showed last week just how good she is when she gave up 6 runs, I think, and I could be wrong on the number, but she gave up 6 runs against LSU, came out and threw 2 donuts right against them, and that to me is a mark of an excellent pitcher with a lot of guts. And we knew we were going to be in for a fight, even though we'd won the first game 4-0. It didn't mean anything to her. She was going to come right at us, and she did.
And your defense has been erratic at times. It's maybe not the number one strength of your club, but how would you rate a lot of these plays that your team's made?
Well, I would say our defense gets pretty bad knock, mainly because we get to a lot of balls. We make plays on balls, and we don't care about the errors. We care about making the plays and making the outs. And I think that's a difference. There's some teams, and I'm not knocking anybody here, but there's some teams where maybe they don't get the errors because they don't get to the balls. But our kids are selling out. They're learning what it is, and it's great seeing this game elevate. You're seeing so many great plays. I mean, you look on SportsCenter and you see all these great outfield plays that are going on right now, infield plays, people throwing from all angles. This dynamic right now. You gotta stay up with it. It's pretty cool.
All right, we'll go front row right.
Coach, wanted to ask you about catchers and the level of play we've seen at that position this series. Tegan talked about Reese talking her through. I know Reese is a huge heartbeat of your team. But just in general, all these teams here, how do you evaluate the level of play at that position?
Yeah, there certainly are a lot of really good ones out there. I mean, Jocelyn Erickson, is one. She's probably one of the hottest hitters in the tournament. She can really rake. She's tough. I mean, and then of course Reese, and we got another one on our club, Katie Stewart, and of course Kenzie Hansen is just. Has she graduated yet? My gosh, I mean, she's tremendous, and the list goes on. And I don't want to keep naming them because I will forget them. But it's a position where I've been fortunate in my career to have some excellent catches, and it makes a huge difference. And not just the receiving, but they've got your back. And I think that's what Reese is learning to do right now, is to calm Tegan down and say, I've got your back. You throw it, I'll stop it.
Right. Please make sure to silence your cell phones, by the way.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. It's kind of blowing up on me.
Popular guy.
It's probably Del Conte.
All right. We'll go to the second row left to Dave.
Hi, Coach. Dave Wilson from ESPN.com. Yeah, I know you've talked about this a little bit this week, or you've been asked about it, but obviously it's the last Pac-12 team in the tournament. You spent some very formative years of your career out there. What is your takeaway from that? It's sad to see the Pac-12 go, obviously, what they've meant to softball history. From your experience, seeing the last team exit the Women's College World Series, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's very sad. We all don't know how it's going to turn out in the future, what's going to happen, how it's going to play out, because of it was a money move, and just for TV and everything. But I'm just sad to see that conference fold. I wish they could have stayed together, because that's the conference I started out in. The great rivalries, great coaches, even the umpires. They're all looking for jobs now from the Pac-12, and so there's a lot of carryover through that. But I'm sure things will level out. We just got to work through it and see what happens, and do the best we can with it. There's going to be a lot more travel for some of these kids, and we got to figure out whether this is good for their health or not good for their mental health, and just work through it.
All right. Our last question will be from Eric Lopez on Zoom. Maybe. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Eric Lopez, D1 softball. Coach, how would you've been now to the Champ Series as a number 1 seed and as an unseeded team. How would you compare the two drastic styles of getting to the Champ Series? And is there anything from the 2022 Champ Series you want to kind of keep in the back of your mind for this year's Champ Series?
Wow, that's a tough one. Right now I've got to think about that, but we just relishing in the opportunity to get back and play in a series, for the championship. It's tough. It's an honor to be, sitting here right now as the number 1 team. I think there could be several teams that could have that title, and obviously one of them is Oklahoma. They're an excellent team, but whoever comes through Oklahoma or Florida, we've got to be ready to go. And I think the last time we kind of got off to a pretty rough start, obviously, and but our team never stopped fighting. And so we're using some of that adversity that happened a few years ago from our older players on the team to be able to spread that to the younger team. And we'll certainly use that in the next day or two to kind of talk to them about that and what we need to do. But right now, we've faced a lot of adversity already this year. We've faced one of the toughest schedules in the country. We've faced that super regional against our arch rival. That was just one of the toughest series I've ever coached in. And we came through on the right side of it after being down numerous times. So I just don't know. I don't want to put a lid on this team and this program on what the capabilities are and what they can do.
All right, that'll wrap it up for Texas. Thank you.
Thank you.
quick announcement too. The Oklahoma-Florida game will be at 1 tomorrow, so there won't be a preview press conference tomorrow. So just that game. We'll go ahead and get started with Stanford's press conference. We're joined by head coach Jessica Allister and players Nigel Kennedy and Caitlin Koch. We'll start out with an opening statement from Coach Allister. Go to questions just for the players. Players will leave, and then just questions for Coach Allister. So if you have an opening statement.
Yeah, obviously, season coming to an end. Didn't end the way that we wanted it to, but still just a lot to be proud of. When you end your season in Oklahoma City, that's the goal every single year. And like I told the team in the locker room, you just got to keep tossing your hat in the ring and getting your heart broken a couple times and standing back up and trying again. But I couldn't be more proud of the group of women on the team. They played for each other. They took care of one another. They worked hard. They stayed in growth mode. I mean, I feel like we were just getting going. I think we were getting better every game. But just an absolute wonderful, wonderful group. A pleasure to be around. Obviously, Nigel was fantastic all week, fantastic today. I mean, maybe one of the best performances in Oklahoma City that I've seen, at least. And none of us that are around her all the time are surprised, but just gritty and tough and phenomenal. And sad for this year to be over, but proud, really, really proud.
Questions for players? Okay, we'll go front row left.
Naja, you were controlling their lineup. Their pitch was throwing really well. At what point did you think, this may come down to, one mistake by either team and be a one-run game?
Yeah, honestly, the whole game, that's a really good team. So I knew just to go at them as hard as I can and just trust my defense.
More questions for players? Okay, front row left here.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Kaylin, you have the knee injury last year. What was it like to actually get to be with this squad and play with them here this week?
Just grateful is the word that comes to mind. Just so grateful to be here. Kira, my other teammate, also had an ACL injury, and just watching her ball out this season has been absolutely amazing. And this team is special. They're some of my best friends, best coaches, best staff, and it's just been one hell of a ride, and I couldn't be more grateful for the season and to be here. Yeah.
We'll go third row to the right.
Jenna Becerra, D1 softball. Kaylin and Nigel too, but Kaylin first. You came in to Stanford softball with this senior class that just finished their careers. Can you speak to their impact on the program, both of you?
They've had just the most tremendous impact on this program, both on the field and off. Biggie with the Golden Glove winner, Reagan with all of her accolades and strikeouts. Ellie is the fastest person I know on this planet Earth. And Lim just can hit the ball. And they're just so talented, and they've made such a huge impact on the program and us, and they're just wonderful people. We're just all so proud of them and so sad to see them go, but they've left their mark in every way possible. And we just couldn't be prouder and happier for them. Like, they're awesome.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of that, I think part of the reason we went to go so far was just for those seniors and knowing we just wanted their last game to be as late as possible, because at one point we were just playing for them and try to prolong their season for as long as possible.
All right, we'll go front row to the left now.
Kaylin, what kind of two-part question? What makes that Texas pitcher so effective against y'all? And then, you guys fought your way back into a rematch. What did you try to learn from that first game today at the plate?
Sure. I think she's a very good pitcher. I think she has good lanes and she has a good rise ball. And that with the changeup makes her pretty effective. And I think coming off of the first game into the second game, and we played them previously in the year as well a couple times. For me, my approach was to try to lay off a rise ball and get a good swing off on a good pitch. So I think that was just take a aggressive swing at a good pitch was the mindset.
All right, we'll go front row right.
Jana Bardall, The Athletic. Nigel, I wanted to ask you, you had a great World Series last season as well, and coming into this season, just reflecting back these past few games, what are you most proud of, and what do you think you grew the most in?
I think something I'm most proud of, honestly, is just the way this team fought until the very last out. Like, I'll pick us every single time. And as far as my growth, I think just trying to dig in even more, just dig in and compete and get us back in. Yeah.
All right, we'll go front row left now.
Kirk Bowles from the Austin American. Nigel, is it even more painful losing as you did on just such a bang close play?
Yeah, I definitely, but I feel like every loss hurts, and this being the last one definitely does. But again, just like Coach Allister said, you just have to keep throwing it in the ringer, and then one day it'll pay off.
Did you see much difference between the two teams in the two games with y'all in Texas? The separation, I mean.
Yeah. Oh no, I think we can beat any team here. I don't think there's any separation. And again, I'll pick us every single time.
Any more questions for players? All right. Thank you, players.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach Allister? Okay. Front row left.
Coach, I mean, you had last year with Nija as a freshman here, and then the Texas kid was a freshman this year. Mm-hmm. How tough is it for a freshman to come to this atmosphere and just be so effective in the circle? And what do you see from the Texas pitchers? Similar to what I asked Kaylin.
Well, yeah, I think it's tough for a freshman. I think it's tough for a lot of players just to be able to on this stage that we've collectively built as a sport to come in and keep the game the same. And I thought Kaman did a fabulous job. I think you could see a little bit maybe of the nerves on Thursday, and we maybe didn't take advantage of that. And then today, you could tell she was settled in and comfortable and pitching aggressively. And hats off to her. She threw 2 great games, kept us guessing, and it's she did a phenomenal job, and she's a great pitcher.
All right, we'll stay front row left.
I think Nija had so high expectations when she came in. She just met every single one of them. How remarkable is it that what we see every time she steps into the circle?
I mean, I don't even know if you can describe it, right? Like, it's, I just, her competitiveness is the piece that just continues to awe me every single day, because her skill set is unique, but really just the way she competes sets her apart. And I've never seen a situation that she backs down from, coming back out and getting the ball. And, we had her on a short leash today, and we're monitoring her closely and ready to make a change. And she was like, absolutely not. And I think that competitor in her is unlike anything that I've ever seen. And then she sits here and, the team doesn't get the result that we want, and she looks inward and, talks about what she can do better. And that's just, it's not common. It's what makes her a wonderful teammate. It's what makes her so successful, and it's why her teammates love her. And you heard it in all the press conferences or in all the sound bites from all of them. They're saying we're playing for Nigeri. I mean, they love her because she does all of those things. So I just, she's phenomenal.
All right, we go front row right now.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about the catchers in this World Series and
Yeah.
the level of play there. You guys are going against Reese Atwood, who was finalist for Player of the Year, and as a former catcher yourself, how pivotal is that position down the line, and how do you evaluate the talent level here in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, give catchers some due. That's what I'm talking about. This is good. I'm just kidding. We're really just there to make the pitchers happy and make them look good. That's our real job. Don't let anybody tell you anything else. Yeah, I think there's great catchers. There's just great ball players, right? Like when you walk around and you watch the level of play and you watch all of the teams, like just the level that the sport's being played at right now. I mean, it's exciting, and catching's no different. You know, it's a position where you got to be fast, you got to have a great arm, you got to have great hands, you got to be aware of what's going on, you got to run the defense, and I think there's just phenomenal athletes on the field right now who are competing at such a great level. And what a wonderful time for the sport. But yeah, catching, it's the same as everywhere else. Just the athletes that are playing the position are pretty spectacular.
Wanted to ask a follow-up too, just about Pac-12 softball and you guys being the last team here at the World Series. What does that mean for the conference and for Stanford just to be the last game here tonight?
You know, it's sad. It's bittersweet. But again, you know, to finish as one of, you know, top 4, we're proud of that. You know, we compete in an athletics department that it can humble you quickly with the success that you're surrounded by. And to think about how far this program has come in the last 7 years, where we're sitting here disappointed with a top 4 finish and feeling like we could have done more. That's great. You know, sad that the conference is going away. Hopeful that maybe one day it'll come back in some form. But just really, really proud of Stanford softball and proud of the women that I've, you know, been able to spend all this time with. Yeah.
We'll go front row left now.
I wonder if you believe in maybe Texas a team of destiny. You know, your second baseman made just a phenomenal play, and then had error on the other one, and then you lose it in a rundown, for Pete's sakes. I mean,
we did.
What does all that say?
Are they a team of destiny? I don't know that I believe that there's teams of destiny. Are they a really good ball club? They're a really good ball club. Yeah. You know, and when you talk about the 3 facets of the game, pitching, offense, and defense, and, you know, the old adage of you need 2 of the 3 on any given day to give yourself a chance to win, like, they've got a chance to be really, really good at 2 of the 3 on any given day. And, you know, hats off to Coach White. He's built a really great roster. They're dynamic, they're deep, they're athletic, they've got power, they got speed. So do I believe in them as a team of destiny? I don't. Do I think they're a team that keeps the pressure on you and you're going to have to play a really good ball game against to win the game? You know, I do. And they're a good ball club. They're a really good ball club.
All right, our last question will be from Eric Lopez on Zoom.
Eric Lopez, D1 softball coach, a Final Four finish with a young team, a lot of new faces, freshmen. Just speak of the growth of this team, especially during this run where I think you played like 6 elimination games, and what you will remember about this group and this year and this run.
Yeah, every once in a while I look at the roster and see the youth, and, you know, it's exciting. And I think we grew up a lot this year. We grew up a ton this year, both physically, mentally, emotionally, all of the things, and just as teammates and people. So, you know, the future's bright. We're excited about our recruits that we've signed. We're excited about the recruits that are committed. Like, we're just, you know, we're in a good space right now. And I can tell you that everybody in that locker room is going to leave that locker room hungry, and everybody wants more. And we've got the character in the clubhouse that they'll do the work to show up and try again next year. But, you know, I think at some point I'll reflect on that a little bit more. Right now, sad to see our seniors leave, and just really, really proud of the impact they've had on the program and the year that we had this year.
All right, that'll wrap things up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe.